Y'all, we have made it so far into this Survivor season, and I gotta say, this episode was one of the best ones yet. I just thought the storytelling and editing was very concise and well done. This was a fun one, y'all, so let's get into it. So this episode opens up by focusing on the Tika Three. Carolyn is very upset at Jam Jam and Carson because they left her out of the last vote.
There's nobody here, like, you can't trust anybody.
There is.
No, there's not. Every
Don't say the same thing about you.
once. That was once, man.
And this is
first
once
time
too.
Jam, you were over that.
And you should be over this too.
This just happened, man.
This was the first snag that we've seen this trio hit in a while, and yet another example of Carolyn being put on the back burner and left out, which that has really been Carolyn's story throughout this entire season. But hey, in the game of Survivor, laying low and not coming across as a leader at all could get you really far in the game. You know, I'm willing to bet that a lot of people are viewing Carolyn as a potential GOAT right now, which isn't a bad thing for her. Eventually, we do see that the Tika Three is able to make up and they plan on moving forward in the game together, but all is not steady because Jam Jam is about to stir up just a little bit of drama. Jam Jam goes to Danny and tries to tell Danny the truth about how Heidi totally backstabbed him, but Danny is just not buying it, like not one bit. He, for whatever reason, just believes Heidi and buys into her BS like it's nothing.
I know Heidi very well. I believe her and that she didn't turn against me. I think Jam Jam and Tika are trying to split me and Heidi up, but it's silly. I would find it difficult to find first graders who would buy that story.
Honestly, I can't even blame Danny for this one. If I was him, I would trust Heidi over freaking Jam Jam too. I mean, they have been together since day one. Overall, this whole mess just ends up putting a big old target on Jam Jam's back. On top of that, the rest of the group is on to the Tika Three. They know that they're a tight trio and they gots to go. So with all of this drama in the air, it is time to head off to the immunity challenge. This time it is the classic anxiety-inducing last gasp competition. I can't do it with this competition, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I love breathing, okay? I love air. I love air like Oprah loves bread.
I love bread. I love bread.
It eventually all comes down to Heidi and Jam Jam, but in the end, as we see, Jam Jam is able to pull out the win and win his first individual immunity. Good for him too, because that huge move may have just saved his ass. So back at camp, what we as the audience are presented with is the notion that there are two opposing sides here. There's the Tika Three and then there's everybody else pretty much. The Tika Three decide to set their sights on Danny as their next target, which to me made total sense. I mean, he's probably the biggest physical competition out there since Frannie left, so I totally get it. And it appears that everyone else wants to target Carson. Since they can't vote out Jam Jam today, they want to do the next best thing and vote out his ally in true Survivor fashion. And I also thought that this was a good move to make too. Like, finally somebody's looking at Carson. I mean, he's been the biggest mental competition threat out there since like day one, yet he hasn't really been on anybody's mind. So it's not really explained on the show, but somehow, some way, Carolyn ends up getting tipped off about the Carson vote.
I get the vibe that they're voting for Carson.
I don't know. But stick into the flow.
I feel like they're gonna vote him.
Something's not right. I'm worried now that Danny is planning to take Carson out.
This causes all sorts of paranoia. Carolyn gets freaked out and confesses about her idol and promises to use it on Carson. So now with the idol, the Tika Three are feeling pretty safe as they head into tribal council. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I thought this tribal was just weird. Like, it's the most awkward tribal I've ever seen. Like,
Harrison is a thief of joy.
That's what she just did, so that's why I asked a question, Danny.
You get some sleep, Carolyn. Who knows how you'll see things. Are you mad at me now?
Yes.
they eventually do get to the votes, and Carolyn, sure enough, plays her idol for Carson. The votes are read, and when they're revealed, we see that Danny is the one who was ultimately voted off. But not before his infamous De Niro impression, of course. How could we forget?
Hey, you snuffed my torch, Jeff? Snuff my torch. Huh? Snuff my torch.
Stop it. No, it's not my torch. No.
Oh my God.
No, it's not. Go ahead, stop.
One thing I did note is that Carolyn didn't even need to use her idol here since Carson only got 2 votes against him. But hey, I guess it's always best to use protection just in case, right? I also wish they would have explained Heidi and Lauren's strategy a little bit more. Like, I really thought that they were gonna stick as a foreign vote with Soka, but I guess not. Lauren's game especially, I feel, has just been on the back burner all season. Like, what's up with that? Maybe that'll be explored more next episode. We'll see. Of course, I'm interested to know, what did you all think of this episode and what did you think of Danny's exit? Even though I kind of saw Danny's departure coming, I mean, I called it in the last video, I still think that this was one of the strongest episodes of the season so far. There are only 6 players left standing right now, and 3 of them are in a pretty tight alliance. We did see a little bit of turmoil between the Tika Three in the previews though, so we'll see where that leads for next episode. I will talk to you all later, but until next time, bye.